So, hey, rough start, but now we are on. So World Urbanism Day today. Yes, happy World Urbanism Day to all the architects and urbanists in Croatia and beyond. I would like to tell you a little bit about our projects and about our thinking of participatory urban design and urban planning. Yes, and for me, well, participation is the matter of definition, of course. In the book, in the architecture faculty, you will not hear anything about it. There should be more, of course, but for me, and this is from our experience in a lot of countries, that is participatory urban planning or urban design seeks to elevate the human dimension of a city life by promoting urban planning processes that actively involve the communities in the design of urban public spaces, urban landscapes, and neighborhoods. So to sum up in projects, so involving the communities in planning process, yeah? And that is what we believe should be done, and it's already done a lot in where I live in Vienna, for example, but in other places as well. And I will show you some examples. Maybe they will seem a little bit far away, but in reality, it's not so far away because you can always replicate on your local level with your projects. So why do people participate in urban planning projects? I mean, people, the real people, the citizens, and it's because they want to participate when it's relevant for them. So, for example, if we talk about the public space in front of their homes in their neighborhood, it's relevant for them, and that's why people would like to participate. And we do that a lot in Vienna. So the city of Vienna hires us to do participatory planning projects. And but they don't do it for information purposes. They do it because they want to find out how these places should be developed. Because you, as a planner or architect, you might not know what is needed for a place, and if you think that it is, then I think you should rethink your thinking, because it's whenever you do a very open planning process, you will find out a lot of different ideas or options. And for me, for us, we do this participatory planning approach because we want to have an integrated planning approach. And what do I mean with that? Integrated means we should not only look in physical interventions in these public spaces or these planning areas that we want to change. We have to think also what are the social and economic and environmental problems or challenges in the back. So if you talk to people, you will find out a lot more than you will find out from your expert knowledge. Expert knowledge is fine, but actually having the local knowledge from the people that live every day or they commute every day in these areas, that is key to use this knowledge. So why do you think we want to have a participatory planning? One answer is we want to have quick answers and solutions to multisectoral and dynamic urban problems. So by integration, we want to, by the integrated planning approach, we want to resolve it with multisectoral solutions. So multisectoral means we are working on the mobility, but we are also working on the public space. We are working on the zoning. We are working on the planning. We are working with the health. We are working on a lot of different levels, and we have to combine all these levels. And the quick answers, you will be surprised how quick in a workshop day you will find solutions that don't come from you as an expert, They come from the society, from the participants. So what we need, participatory planning, is also a little bit experimental. Yeah, you cannot always control your topics. So these urban design projects or urban strategies that you are developing, you have to find your tools that are most suitable for you and for your planning process. But what always works is if the methodology is a dialogue between the citizens and you. Yeah, and the inclusionary planning should work through the participation of the actors or the agents, the people that are in the stakeholders. So you will have to define who you will include in your planning process, and you have to involve them and engage them into a dialogue. And this needs a little bit of an innovation, because when you do this the first time, or if your planning system is not really foreseeing that, and you don't have your country or your maybe the architecture society, that they don't have prepared the toolbox for that, you will have to experiment anyhow. And these are a little bit of experiments, but I mean, they're very safe. Nothing really happens, and I think it's really enriching. So there's a lot of innovation in that, in this planning sector needed, and what we really need is creativity as a part of the process. So if you are not creative and you think that you can also all resolve with your expert knowledge, I think you should rethink and allow a little bit of creativity of yourself, but also the creativity of your citizens. You can really ask them, what would you do? How would you like to change your place in the next 5 years? So, and how we do that, and especially in our office, in our studio, but also in the city of Vienna, they really have a very nice toolbox about it. First of all, we have to understand the planning and the urban design as a dynamic process. It's not static. It's not about a day in the history of a place. It's more about a period. Yeah, and it's us, planners and architects, that are moderators. And we are not going to the community and saying, hey, we have a very good solution. What do you think about it? No, we are going there and ask the simple questions. What are your problems? What are your challenges? What are your potentials? How do you see your place in the next 5 years? How do you envision scenarios? How could the development go? In which directions could it go? I and our company, but also in Vienna and a lot of other places, this co-creation is a very important word here, is so that the stakeholders, the civic, the society is co-creating with you the metropolitan or the urban vision. So that means you have your tools to create, for example, a city vision or a vision for a plaza or a square or for a new neighborhood, or even for a metropolitan area. And you really can ask them, what do you want and what do you don't want, what you have and what you don't have. And you have to relate all these questions and ask yourself, okay, my vision is we want to have this inclusive area with housing available for everybody and a nice public space around it. So we have to articulate what we really want from this planning process. And I think key is creative bureaucracy is about having the public sector as an important stakeholder that actually, or companies that work with public sector, that they are not doing just a zoning plan with legal requirements and with text, but I think it's it should be much more. It should be enriching, and it should be good place-based solutions, how we say. So we have to think also in projects. We have to think about how this could look like, and not only to have a zoning plan colored, okay, here is housing, or here is traffic, or here is green areas. So just a little bit of input here from the European Union. I am a lead expert for URBACT. This is a very good city knowledge platform from the European Union, where cities work together. I hope that a lot of Croatian cities also take part in it. And this graph I have from this URBACT, and it details a little bit what is information, what is consulting, engagement, co-designing, and co-producing. And that's actually what the URBACT European Union is proposing us, that we should do a lot more co-production with our society. Yeah, and co-production means, or co-creation is similar. It's the same, I think, the same activity. Is the transformation through a cross-departmental cooperation. So it starts with your organization. So if you have a traffic mobility department, and you have a zoning department, and you have a department who is doing the building permits, or you have a health department, or you have whatever, like libraries or schools, education, it starts within your organization to cooperate within your organization. Then stakeholder involvement is key. So to engage with people in your neighborhoods and understand their thematic challenges. So they will tell you, if you ask the right questions, what should be done. And if you listen carefully, they will never tell you what you want to hear, because you want to hear, we want a nice surface, we want to have benches, we want to have this design, and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, they will talk about, they are homeless, there is the shops are empty, the economy is not right. And then you will say, but I'm an architect, I'm an urban planner. That's not my business. But in reality, it is your business. It is a combination of everything. So you should find this solution for all. And that's the integrated solution. What's the result of this co-production process? It's the strong implementation potential. So you have you create relevant projects that everybody wants to have, because you already asked them. You can engage the stakeholder for a longer term. So it's not only a workshop day in the life of a public space, it's a continuous engagement process. You have also political buy-in, because the local politicians will obviously take part in it, and they will make a lot of promises that hopefully they will keep or not. And it's also about, it's not written here, but it's about the ownership of a project, and on all levels, is when you involve people in this planning process. And you might heard about these words top-down and bottom-up. Top-down is actually if you are the municipality and you are just deciding, okay, here is housing, here is a public space, and the bottom-up is what the people say. And what I think is that key should be the activation of the local stakeholders, but it's very difficult to find them. Sometimes they are just on the street, otherwise, but sometimes they're not on the street, because there are women, there are girls, there are elderly, there are people with disabilities, there are very young people, there are schools that they cannot participate whenever you have time, if you are inviting them to participate. So you have to carefully select your stakeholders, and you have to select them very well. They should be included directly and indirectly in this transformation of this planning site. So they should be asked what happens. Leave no one behind approach means the weak groups should be integrated in this process and respected. So minorities, whatever, but they have to have a voice. Creative, create a basis for the interaction, the communication. So create a forum, create a space where you can interact. It could be online, but it could also be offline in public forums. Establish a constant dialogue with the stakeholders. So that means involve them not only for a day, involve them every second month and inform them what's happening to the project. And it's also about the understanding that they also understand your position as architects and planners, and design and deliver integral solutions for these challenges to be faced in the future. So that means integrated solutions. I'm repeating myself, but it's so important not to listen only, it's a surface, it's about the tree that is missing. It's also about the environment, it's about the economy, it's about the social sector or the social realm, it's about governance, and it's about culture. So I think this all should be integrated in solutions. So what you can do is you can enable the bottom up within the top down process. So you have your top down process anyhow, because public sector is top down and has to be, but you can really clearly define your space for bottom up initiatives or initiatives, bottom up forums or public discussions or whatever. So when we come to this design process or this planning process, a typical design process can be summed up like this. It's all about the local assessment and scoping. So you have to see what's on the ground, what's happening there. You also have to find out your stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? That's also assessment. Then the vision and goals is the vision building process. So first you get a lot of data, qualitative and quantitative data. Then you build a vision. This vision could already be done with a participatory planning process. Then you define your actions. Your action could be a plan, could be a zoning plan, but could be also be a plaza to redevelop or new urban development site. And then the feedback and evaluation is when you're done with the planning, then you go again to your people and ask them again. So you have 4 phases where you can engage people in the planning process. And critical is define your stakeholders and list and map them. So you should know who are your stakeholders. And that's very important because we said before, it's the don't leave anybody behind or so approach. That means you have to see if there are like minority groups, if there are like women or children, and how they can be included in this planning process. If they cannot be included in a town hall meeting, then you have to go where they are. So you have to go to the school and ask them what they envision for their environment or for their planning area. Or you go to people in the retirement homes and you ask them. So you have to be very active. So the moderation role of the planners, of the public and the affiliated to public are very, very active. So this is a project from us that we did in Latin America, in Paramaribo. Nobody knows Paramaribo. That's the capital city of Suriname in Latin America. And we did such a stakeholder engagement process. And in this project, we had all the actors about regeneration, the housing, the local architects, the academic sector, the private sector, the residents, the tourism, because it's a World Heritage Site, also multilateral organizations, for example, the EU or whoever, and the government. This is a different kind of stakeholder diagram. This is from our URBEC project in Barcelona. This is done by AMB, that's the Regional Development Agency of Barcelona. So they do the urban planning for Barcelona region. And in this project, they defined 4 different stakeholder levels of engagement. Yeah, so they have a core group, which is more the closed group of public sector departments, let's say. Yeah. But then you have a co-creation group that it opens up to other people, not only from the government. Then you have the compromise group that is a political group or any directors or from public institutions. And then you have a social group from the ciudadanía. That's actually the regular, the people, the normal people that live in the area, and also for them they have their own area or level of engagement reserved for them. So the co-creation is the start, but when we have done this co-creation, then we need this narrative, we need this storyline, and this is actually your work. So you get a lot of information by the people, but then you have to convert this information into a narrative. You have to tell a story. Also, if you meet your politician in the elevator and you have 10 seconds, what is the project about? Then this is the integrated narrative. You say, we have to do this and this and that, and we have to include the people and whatever. This is the narrative is crucial. This includes a little bit this vision and goals again, and I think this is my really honest opinion. We should think in projects. If we only think in zoning and in like very rough terms, I think a project doesn't go anywhere. It has to also we should have clear pictures in our mind. And I would like to tell you about the project that we do right now for the World Bank in Pristina, not so far away from you. And we created this integrated vision for Pristina. So this is the old town of Pristina. Old town, it's not so old, but it's totally transforming. It's a booming city. It's total chaos. In reality, everybody does what what they want. There is hardly any zoning, but they're trying hard to do some real tangible projects there, and they are quite successful actually. Also with the culture, now they had this Manifesta Biennale, which was great, and so we defined with them together in this participatory planning process that we want to have urban corridors. We want to create a civic spine, which is a pedestrian zone. Then we want to create a ring road that is not existing right now. We want to enable the walkable connections. We want to activate heritage and economy as a business model, and we want to lock and activate all green spaces so that the green spaces cannot be used as new housing or new whatever. Everything should be infill development in existing areas. So that's a very quite short narrative. You can tell your mayor in 10 seconds in the elevator, but then it's in the back. Yeah, we as planner, we think a little bit more complex. We think about, okay, what are our challenges and what are our potentials that we can do, and we always subsumize it into, or we call it the emerging topics. So we have environmental problems, we have mobility problems, we have health problems, we have culture as a potential, and we have the government that should be more active. And then we have also this development goals that are very similar to that what I just wrote here. I would call this a vision, that the goals, they are a little bit more precise, and all the projects. So we think in projects again, not only, oh, we want to have this ring road and that's our vision, and okay, but in reality we have to know how this ring road will look like, because if we don't have a clear mobility solution, what we are doing with the parking cars, then we have a problem. And we are actually proposing that all this ring road should be free of parking. So there is a lot of more public space now, or will be, for cyclists, for example. And as we think in these projects, we can cluster these projects into 5 topics. We have central area upgrades, we have neighborhood upgrades, we have new centralities, we have a green network that we want to improve with 5 projects, or six projects, and new parks. We want to have 7 new parks in the city. So we make this mapping of all these projects, and it looks like also a little bit chaotic, but it's very helpful, that you can see the 5 projects, topics, and all the projects. They have a red line, and we don't do much planning. We don't do much design for it, but we just highlight it. This could be one project for the city. So let's go back a little bit for this co-creation. So you heard that we have these 4 levels: the local assessment, the vision and goals, the action planning and design, or this planning, and the validation and feedback. And for all of these steps in this planning process, we have developed tools how we can engage with citizens in every single step of local assessment, vision and objectives, planning and design and validation. So, and I just wanted to show you some of them, just to appetize a little bit what you can do. And these are these experiments, yeah, and that I would like to help you, or to, I don't know, appetize. I want to make you hungry a little bit. How you can use these tools to engage or to work with your citizens. So we have this 4 planning steps, and I just go quickly through it, that you see what we do. For example, we do workshops. We walk. So we walk through this neighborhood and we do a workshop at the same time. We are very well prepared. Yeah, we have a program. We have stickers, pens, maps, everything with us. And it's very simple. I think that you do that anyhow, but maybe it's more organized. You make a call. You call your neighbors. Make a public event, and then you do these workshops. Walk around and give them a map, and they should write down. And during walking, you discuss, or at the end, you make a little discussion about it, what they saw. Then cartography of social cartography of perception. That's an emotional map. It's a very simple tool. It's a map, and you have 3 stickers. One is green, one is red, and one is yellow, for example. And you say, where do you feel happy? Where do you feel sad? And which place needs interventions? Yeah. Okay. So these are a lot of these tools that I just wanted to show you. And then scenario building, place game is a very nice tool. And I want to show you one project we did in Vienna. This is just only 2 more minutes, then we are done. This is a real estate project. There is actually a train station in this building. And the plaza of this train station needs to be redeveloped. And we did this engagement process for the city of Vienna. And we have a clear plan what we do. Yeah, we know, okay, it will take like almost a year. and we are working with the city. Then we are analyzing the area. So we define the planning area. We said, okay, the whole area here in the 9th district of Vienna. We are making a lot of mapping, but also we do quantitative and qualitative analysis about the demography, about the people, about the unemployment rates, how people move in the area. We also do the stakeholder analysis, and then, but we do also some qualitative, not qualitative, quantitative work. We go there and we make a mapping of all the ground floor zones, which we know which areas are vacant, which areas are active. So it's actually a good analysis. Then we do an analysis of how people move in the area, and then we build up this engagement placemaking. So it's a tactical urbanism with exhibition in the public space. We inform them how the area performs, but we at the same time we ask them a lot of questions, what we want and what we don't want. And we reached 1,200 engagements within 3 days. So a lot of activities. We have stickers. What kind of urban furniture would you like to see in this area? And we do this emotional mapping. I like it, or I don't like it, or I see change here. Emotional mapping. So it's a lot of people go there. We are there for 3 days, during 3 days, 3 hours, and our employees they are there the whole time. And then we do also forums. So we go there. So the mayor, city mayor, or this district mayor, she made a call to all citizens, please come and let's create this vision together. This is from these boards that were in the public exhibition. We hung them also in this workshop room, and the people, they can just articulate what they want and what they don't want, and how this new design could look like. And then we just take this information, we process it, and make it very, very good to read for the next planning or the design process. Yeah, so that's from my side. I hope it was not boring for you. I wanted to show you how participation looks like in our projects, in our also in Vienna. And if you have questions, you can always write to me an email. I will put it in the chat. It's krebs@superwien.com. People in the audience will not see it maybe, but maybe the organizers can pass my contact information to you. Thanks a lot.